Hello, everyone, I am Mr. Dishwasher. I am excited to share with you an entertaining and heartening anime from the early 1990s, known as Golden Boy. I would like to advise everyone to wear headphones and be wary of being discovered by parents. Nonetheless, I highly recommend it for your viewing pleasure. Kentaro Oi is a 25-year-old who previously studied at Tokyo University Department of Law. However, he dropped out after completing all his credits, feeling that the curriculum was not challenging enough and that it was more rewarding to pursue an honest livelihood. Kentaro spends his time studying the way of life by traveling with his bike through Japan, getting part-time jobs wherever and whenever he can. One day, while riding, Kentaro is unexpectedly hit by a sports car, which is driven by a sexy woman. This woman is not only remarkably captivating but also provides Kentaro with a sum of 1 million Japanese yen as compensation. Subsequently, she advises Kentaro to ride his bicycle on the roadside. Kentaro always takes extensive notes on his learning, travels, and interactions with women. This accident enables him to learn the most crucial principle in life. Afterward, Kentaro seeks out an elderly bicycle mechanic to repair his bike. The repairman is kind and declines to receive payment from Kentaro. While fixing the bike, two loan sharks abruptly show up and coerce the repairman into repaying his debts. Confronted with the feeble old man, the debt collectors become aggressive and are on the verge of assaulting him. Seeing this, Kentaro can't bear it any longer, and his fury ignites. Unexpectedly, Kentaro does not have the courage to confront the gangsters and instead chooses to conceal himself nearby, only to hear that the elderly man is being coerced to repay the debt without delay. Following the incident, Kentaro secures a job at a software company, where he senses the refreshing air of spring. The company's programmers are mostly beautiful women, and Kentaro feels exhilarated at the prospect of working alongside them. To his surprise, the Madam President turns out to be the lady he had encountered before. Despite starting as a janitor and cleaning the toilets, Kentaro entertains fantasies about the queen-like president engaging in interesting activities in the restroom. Now Madam President discovers Kentaro's lewd behavior and is ready to terminate his employment. Kentaro begs to keep his job and professes to have self-taught computer skills to contribute to the company. However, when faced with programming in the C language, Kentaro finds himself unable. Eventually, he promises the president that he will learn C language and will work for free without seeking any salary. The Madam President is naturally pleased with the offer of free labor, and Kentaro becomes the only male programmer in the company. Yet his focus is not on learning but on his female colleagues, such as gazing at the president's ample bosom while cleaning windows and peeking at a female programmer changing her stockings in the locker room. After work, Kentaro is about to leave when he notices that the president's computer is still running. In an effort to conserve the company's electricity, Kentaro decides to take action.
Okay.
Kentaro shuts down both the computer and the hard drive of the Madam President, leading to the irrevocable loss of 3 months' worth of software development outcomes. As a result, the previously charming Madam President reveals her savage side, assaulting Kentaro and even rending his notebook to shreds. At this moment, Kentaro finds himself unable to endure the situation any further, as his notebook is important to him. In the end, Kentaro fails to earn forgiveness. Upon discovering his expenditure of the entire 1 million yen compensation, the president treats him with contempt and disdain. Then, Kentaro is dismissed by Madam President. However, 1 week later, the software company finds itself unable to finish product development, which leads to significant compensation claims and the threat of bankruptcy. Suddenly, a programmer receives a disk containing software that meets the client's requirements. It turns out that during that week, Kentaro has studied C language and independently developed the software. The disk is his reward, which he sends to the company. Later, the old repairman also comes to the company looking for Kentaro. He wants to thank him for helping him repay his debts because Kintaro gave him the 1 million yen given to him by the Madam President. At that moment, Madam President has a change of heart about Kintaro. She suddenly falls in love with him and wants to pursue him. But Kintaro has already embarked on his next adventure.
大江金太郎25歳将来日本いや世界をも救う男かもしれない
I have to say that Kintaro's exceptional learning ability is too impossible. Later on, he secures a job in the mayoral candidate's campaign team, where he comes across Naoko, the candidate's daughter. This encounter leads Kintaro to believe that he has seen an angel. However, he also experiences a strong urge to do something in the toilet.
美しい天使がここに座って大なり小なり体が
Afterward, Naoko exhibits an interest in Kintaro and lures him into her room where she disrobes in front of him, inciting his carnal desires. Kintaro deems Naoko to be too naive to comprehend human sexuality. But Naoko is a woman with motives. She deliberately entices Kintaro with her body, in an attempt to unveil the unsightly aspects of male behavior. At 11:30 p.m., Naoko summons Kintaro to her room to teach her a lesson.
こんなこと教えてくださいなんて言うの。金太郎さん。
シャイ!
わからないんです。教えていただけますか?
Thus, Kintaro begins to tutor Naoko on her studies. However, Naoko's true intention is to control Kintaro's emotions and use him as a plaything. She wears a yukata or swimsuit during their tutoring sessions to pique Kintaro's interest. One day, Naoko notices Kintaro's notebook. She takes advantage of her body to steal the notebook. But in the notebook, Kintaro clearly wrote about Naoko's character. Now appears to be innocent, but she is actually playing tricks on men. Naoko's actions are prompted by her love for her father, who neglected her, and she seeks revenge by controlling men. Eventually, Naoko discovers that Kintaro is only pretending to be amative. Later, Naoko's father is elected as the mayor. Naoko privately contacts Kintaro for revenge and gives him a pair of scissors after cutting her clothes.
はい、これ。
頭
どうした直子
え
Surprisingly, Naoko's retaliation is so severe that she desires to witness Kintaro's beg for mercy and hopes for his exposure of her false persona. However, Kintaro doesn't take such actions and instead, fervently embraces and kisses Naoko, professing his deep love for her. This results in Kintaro being assaulted, but it preserves Naoko's reputation. Consequently, Naoko falls for Kintaro, causing her to protect him and ask for his forgiveness.
ごめんなさい。
助けに来てほしかったな。
Finally, the commotion has finally subsided. Kintaro starts a new journey, riding his bicycle. He acquires a job at a noodle shop, where he encounters the boss and his captivating daughter, Noriko. However, a wealthy youth arrives, sending flowers to Noriko. He invites Noriko to a yacht party, where he succeeds in capturing her heart. But Kintaro finds the youth's bad motives. He is a deceiver, intending to wed Noriko and transfer her family's property into his name. The youth has a paramour with whom he indulges in doing something fun in the car. Kintaro is confronted with a hard decision, whether to expose the truth about the youth and break Noriko's heart or plead with the youth to leave Noriko alone. Kintaro chooses the second. But he is subjected to violence by the youth. The next day, the youth invites Noriko to a horse race and tries to coerce her into accepting his proposal.
口ではそう言いながら体が言うことを聞かなくなってきたはずだ。ならばしたから。
ダメだってば。
なんだと。まずこの手を落としてから。それにしてもでかい手だ。
あふ。
Eventually, Noriko consents to the proposal. However, Noriko unexpectedly witnesses the scene in which Kintaro kneels and implores the youth to spare her, leading her to know the truth and leave the youth. The resentful youth seeks revenge against Kintaro but is defeated in a counterattack. Then, Noriko falls in love with the gentle Kintaro, who departs from the shop on a bike. After some time, Kentaro arrives at a swimming pool where he meets the wild and sexy female pool manager, Ayuko. To get close to her, Kentaro decides to apply for a job as a swimming coach, despite not being able to swim. He makes a wager with Ayuko, pledging to swim faster than her within a month. However, Kentaro later discovers that Ayuko is an Olympic swimming champion. Nonetheless, Kentaro begins working at the swimming pool and realizes that the teaching methods demanded by Ayuko are extremely stringent.
お顔ブクブクしましょうね。1、2、3、4、5。
If a child displays reluctance to dive, the female coach is known to forcefully submerge their head, thus causing a number of children to become afraid of water and consequently unwilling to learn swimming. Ayuko believes that the importance of learning to swim should supersede the enjoyment of swimming. Then, Kentaro's aquatic skills continue to develop, and he even has a splendid encounter with Ayuko during a competition. Kentaro ingests a mouthful of sweet water. His excessive sexual excitement causes his swim pants to burst and defile the sanctity of the swimming pool, leading to his immediate dismissal by Ayuko. Some days later, Ayuko discovers a marked improvement in the swimming abilities of children. She finds that the children have been using Kentaro's swimming equipment, which succeeds in fostering their interest in and love of swimming. One girl even brings her parents to express gratitude to Kentaro. In this moment, Ayuko realizes that true swimming ability is achieved through genuine love for the activity. She wants to apologize to Kentaro and reinstate him, but he has already departed on a bicycle in search of the next adventure. Later, Kentaro encounters a motorbike enthusiast who regards her vehicle as her lover and can even attain orgasm from the vibrations of the engine. Subsequently, Kentaro secures a job at a temple where he meets a graceful and refined woman, Reiko, causing his sexual desires to flare up once more and making him want to do something in the toilet once again.
お嬢さんがここにまたがって。でも体が勝手にこうやってもう。
Kentaro's deviant conduct is discovered by Reiko, resulting in his expulsion from the temple. Later, Kentaro fortuitously witnesses the motorcyclist beauty's act of self-stimulation. He finds that she is Reiko, the woman of the temple. In order to assist Reiko in finding a more conventional sexual inclination, Kentaro invites her to a high-speed race. Kentaro operates a bicycle, which is incapable of matching a motorcycle. However, Kentaro exhibits remarkable bravery by descending an 80-degree slope and taking a shortcut. Subsequently, Kentaro not only catches up with passing vehicles to augment his speed, but also rides his bicycle atop the power lines after experiencing a fall near a power tower. Ultimately, using his riding skills, Kentaro and Reiko cross the finish line. Approaching the end of the race, they encounter a bend, adjacent to a broken bridge. Rather than decelerating and turning, Kentaro elects to fly from one end of the mountain to the other. Kentaro tumbles down a cliff, but his courage does not falter. Reiko admires his bicycle prowess and now gazes upon him with great reverence. But, with a heavy heart, she sighs and declares that Kentaro is destined for death. If he dies, everything is pointless. So, Kentaro manages to survive the precipice plunge. Reiko finds her natural sexual orientation and falls deeply in love with Kentaro. Following this incident, Kentaro arrives at a new place of work, an animation studio, where, even today, the backbone of animation production is the diligent otaku. In the studio, Kentaro also befriends a female colorist named Chie. Ultimately, he overcomes the temptation to consume toilet water.
ここにあの可愛いチエさんのお尻を乗せてでも体が勝ってお前鍋かけたまま何やって勉強になるな
Subsequently, the animation company encounters obstacles when they are unable to meet the client's requirements within the given timeline. To make matters worse, the animation supervisor is hospitalized due to an accident. Eventually, everyone wants to give up, believing it to be impossible. Even Chie, who worked on the coloring, believes that her contribution is insignificant and denies her own job. Fortunately, Kintaro encourages Chie by highlighting the significance of coloring, which distinguishes animation from black and white comics, and emphasizes that producing an animation requires the collective effort of the entire team. This team spirit proves to be the driving force behind the valuable animation. With Kintaro's support, Chie regains her confidence. Furthermore, Kintaro devises ingenious solutions to overcome the obstacles. Firstly, he requests the Madam President to share computer drawing software to expedite the production process using computer graphics. Secondly, Kintaro visits the hospital to discuss plans with the animation supervisor. Thirdly, Kintaro asks Ayuko to help design a sports look. Fourthly, Noriko delivers noodles to boost the team's energy. Fifthly, he asks Naoko to assist voiceover work. Lastly, Reiko delivers the completed animation to the client on time. Eventually, with the collective efforts of the team, the animation company completes the project and receives approval from the client. However, Kintaro vanishes once more, as he believes that there are countless beautiful women in the world waiting to be met. All 5 wives pursue him, except for Chie, who decides to remain in the company and continue her work. With Kintaro's help, Chie realizes that work is the greatest joy in life.
仕事の楽しさを、仕事の大切さを、いつかまた会えるわよね。
Congratulations, Golden Boy, on the successful conclusion of this anime. Kintaro's encounters with alluring ladies in each episode, paired with amusing and heartwarming narratives, create an enjoyable and entertaining viewing experience. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, thank you. Goodbye.